This group made one of the most underrated sophomore rock albums of the 21st century. Coming off their debut, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, Panic! At the Disco cemented themselves as a force to be reckoned with in the emo scene. A hard rock emo album with techno and baroque elements, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out was a major success, selling over 4 million, and not to mention it featured the all-time hit I Write Sins Not Tragedies. You'd think with a debut album as successful as A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, they would double down on the sound with their next album. Instead, they did a complete 180 and said, "We're not that." In contrast to the emo scene that was present in A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, Pretty Odd doubles down on psychedelic rock, psychedelic pop, baroque, folk rock, and 1960s pop. Needless to say, it confused the hell out of fans and critics at the time of its release. As a matter of fact, it didn't do nearly as well as A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Compared to A Fever You Can't Sweat Out's sales of 4 million, Pretty Odd sold a meager 1 million. In a weird way, the band kinda deserved it. With an identity change as crazy and as drastic as this, it obviously didn't resonate with their fans. However, 18 years after the album's release, it has garnered a strong cult following with many of their fans, including me, who consider it to be one of the band's finest works. I personally think that this album is a folk rock masterpiece. It is tight, consistent, and is beautiful. The album is filled to the brim with some of their catchiest hooks, amazing string and horn sections throughout the tracks, and this album just basically sounds like a flower field if flower fields had melodies. I would honestly go as far as to say this is my second favorite Panic album of all time, right next to A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. It deserves to hold that title as one of the boldest transitions in rock history. I highly recommend giving this album a spin if you're into genres like that. My favorite tracks from this album are obviously 9 in the Afternoon, She's a Handsome Woman, the song you've been hearing in the background, but my all-time favorite is When the Day Met the Night. That is actually one of my all-time favorite Panic songs ever. It is so beautiful and so catchy and just so fun to sing along to. It's such a shower song. But what do you think of this album? Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know.